All around the world, there's this invisible problem going on, and it's the sex slave trade. For most of us, we're not aware of this industry, but it's actually a $150 billion industry, and it preys on the vulnerable. Nobody growing up says, I want to get into this industry. It's something where people are preyed upon because maybe they have a poor home situation. Maybe there's some kind of trauma in their background, and predators feed on the vulnerable. And there's no discretion as opposed to age. And so there's kids that are being taken from homes, kids that are being taken from neighborhoods, and they're put into this sex slave trade. And so over the next several weeks, we're going to be sharing the story of what's going on, and we're going to share 3 stories with you. We're going to share Kyle's story. Kyle's one of our campus pastors, and God put on Kyle's heart to be a part of the solution to this awful problem. And so Kyle started using hiking, a passion of his, to help raise awareness of this industry and to help raise support for putting an end to it. And Kyle, as he was on his journey, he met a police officer, a sergeant down in Tucson, and her name's Sarah. And Sarah was working, helping rescue girls out of the sex slave trade. And as she was seeing these girls who had been through some awful traumatic experiences, she realized there wasn't a good place for them to go afterwards. God put on her heart, what if we could build a ranch in a safe place where there would be horses, there could be counselors, there could be an environment where there would be love and Jesus would be put on display. And we're also going to hear from Jade. Jade was a victim of sex trafficking who was rescued out of that, who's gone through the journey of rehabilitation and who's met Jesus. And so over the next several weeks, you're going to hear these stories, and our prayer for you, our prayer for our church, is that we would join, that we would be a part of the story of seeing girls rescued from the sex slave trade, girls who are underage, girls who are just children, people's daughters. Now, here's what we typically do around Christmas. We ask that every family would consider giving $100. And if you're like, man, $100, I don't know if we can do that. We got a lot going on, or financially that's tough. Give what you can. Give whatever God puts on your heart. And if you're like, that's nothing, that's no big deal, then consider being generous above and beyond that. The most important number is 100%. If 100% of us would be a part of this, if 100% of us would say, yeah, we're in, we're going to be a part of the solution, guys, we're going to make a massive impact. Jesus talks a lot about the church is to speak up for those who are voiceless, to look after those who can't defend themselves. And this is an opportunity for us to be the church. Not just to go to church, but to be the church, to be a part of what God wants to do. I believe God's heart breaks for every single person in this industry. And I believe God's heart is that His church would be a part of the solution. Would you join us on the journey of learning the story and learning how you and we can be a part of putting an end to this?